Enemy chopper, inbound. Going to sunset.
Is he still up there? Can you see much from the roof?
No!
That's
And 1 o'clock as well, BMP.
grabbing the tower.
Nice, nice.
Yeah,
12 o'clock, 12.
Man, there is like a sniper twist.
Hey everyone, Snifflepuss here. Today we're looking at Squad, and whether it's a title you should look to pick up in 2022 or in the future. Squad is a spiritual successor to the highly popular and award-winning Project Reality mod for Battlefield 2, first released in 2005 and still played to this day. Made by Offworld Industries, this was their next stepping stone. Built on the Unreal Engine 4, it features large-scale battles between opposing factions. Some scenarios introduce you to a fight between two superpowers, with Americans fighting Russians in the wooded, muddied marshes of Europe. Other battles will have you be a Middle Eastern jihadist fighting in a coup against the regime army in a sand-covered waste. On the surface, there isn't a lot to see. Being a military tactical shooter, a simulation of sorts, there are very little things which may remind players of other first-person shooters such as Call of Duty, Medal of Honor, or even Battlefield. There are no ranks, no stats, no points on the screen. The game, of course, copies and somewhat incorporates features similar to these games, but have also added several systems of complexity. These changes and mix-ups in the formula are mostly focused on making a team work together, to create some form of cohesion in order to help each other reach a common goal. This is all done through the squad system. When joining a game and choosing your faction, you will be presented with squads that you can join. Some people are going to name their squads appropriately in order to both claim vehicles and show what their squad will do. After joining a squad, you will be able to select your kit, ranging from anything from a medic, rifleman, anti-tank soldier, sapper, combat engineer. The list goes on and on. The game also heavily relies on communication, using the local channel in order to provide proximity chat to your teammates nearby,
Okie dokie. Gamer time initiated.
as well as radio communication to stay in touch throughout the battlefield.
That's what did you want to bring our guys to Iraqi River, because the rest... Yeah. Yep.
Other than knowing what the enemy looks like, you have no other way of identifying them, so communicating with your team is key. This game highly encourages the use of microphones, and I would advise you use yours to the fullest extent. Unlike several hard spawns or spawning on capture points and such, this game is all about making your own spawns and strategizing around them. There is, of course, the main spawn, where your base is, but there's never any fighting here. Every single kit or soldier has a shovel. This is used to build bases and fortifications across the map. With a logistics system based on building resources and ammunition resources, you make your own spawns called forward operating bases, or FOBs, with your squad in this game. These can be placed almost anywhere on the map by any squad with a squad leader and at least one guy with a shovel. They are what dictate where you spawn and where you die. And die you will. This is not a very forgiving game in the sense of being hit. One well-placed shot from any caliber and you may go down. Critically injured and bleeding, suppressed or just out of stamina, you can't be expected to hit much or even see much in some cases. Audio will be wild and deafening in certain scenarios, almost to the point of shell shock if you're the poor sod that gets an artillery barrage poured on you. Or maybe your last seconds of life will be looking at what you think is a UAV in the sky, only to see an A-10 barreling down on you with his 30mm. You might be patching up your friend and reviving him, only to take a place right next to him. Every game, each team starts with a set amount of tickets. Tickets in this game signify the amount of lives you have in a game. They can be earned by accomplishing tasks, or objectives rather, such as capturing flags or destroying caches. They are lost by losing bases, vehicles, and by giving up or bleeding out as infantry. There are several game modes in Squad, mostly domination type modes. The most common game modes are Advanced and Secure, or Random Advanced and Secure, where there are a set number of flags or capture points that each team must capture in order to move on to the next. Other game modes break up the map into hexagonal grids, where you have to capture the majority in order to be able to attack the enemy's base, or other modes include search and destroy type, like game modes where you have to burn and destroy caches. Most public servers run a system where the players active on the server at the time are able to vote for and choose their own type of layer, also known as map, and what kind of type of game mode they want to play. Either that be hexagonal grids that you have to capture, domination type modes, or search and destroy type modes. There are several options to choose from. The reason I'm making this video now is because I myself came back to this game after well over a 2-year hiatus, and was very positively reminded of why I played this game. The community, camaraderie, and companionship found on many of the servers are second to none. Helpful, humoristic, and interesting conversations, tactics, and general bullshittery is what makes this game what it is. Now, the company itself, OWI, has had a few issues as of late. Changing directors 4 times in a span of 2 years has definitely showed to have some sort of impact.
You're shooting at nothing! Stop shooting! See shots! More shots! More shots!
Fucking wasting ammo.
Stop shooting! Follow behind the truck! We got infinite ammo, boys. It don't matter. Keep firing!
When referencing their roadmap, there are definitely things from the 2021 roadmap which are yet to be added. But as of now, in 2022, OWI seem to have found a steady footing, releasing patch 2.16 just days before this video goes up. On top of this, it's also comprised of a development team which seems to listen to its community. Whether that be because it's still small and manageable, or just because they care about the game, they have often listened to feedback and implemented changes surrounding those features. Something which is, in my mind, a rather positive and overlooked thing in video game companies nowadays. Something that is sorely and deeply missed, in my opinion. Now, I have to admit to some bias when it actually comes to recommending this game to anyone. I love it. It's great. It's right up my alley. Games with a timer of 2 hours, quiet chirping from birds outside, and vehicle noises buzzing by in the distance. A cool, calm atmosphere, only to be put in hell on earth situations 5 minutes later. No other game does it like Squad. It's so dynamic, so ever-changing. Catches you with your pants down every time you play. Now, I won't be the first to admit that there are some issues with the game. Personally, for me, they're mostly in regards to vehicles, both in damage models and physics. But that is just about where my gripes end. Sure, there are some wonky things in this game. It doesn't always make sense. But for me, it's the game that makes the least most sense. And lastly, to finish this off, I just want to mention that the community modding and framework around this keeps growing every day, with one popular mod already being made into a stock game feature. Talking about transport helicopters here. They were birthed from a mod back when I played 2 years ago, and are now a main part of the base game. Furthermore, 2 big projects in both Middle Eastern Escalation, a reskin of soldiers, guns and their mods, maps, and factions create a new, interesting playing field. as well as having a intergalactic war raging in the Star Wars mod of Galactic Contention. There are several possibilities here, and you as the player are free to roam all of them. There is nothing left for me to do than to say, get this game. Its popularity has been rising consistently throughout the year. The development team is consistently putting out patches, and the community is growing more and more for each day that passes. All that's left now is for you to get your own boots on the ground.
Oh no, he's gone, son.
He is fuming.
I'm going to leave you guys with just a taste of what it feels like when 50 strangers accomplish something together. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hopefully I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.
More tickets.
We won with 4 tickets. Oh my god. He's the game! Look at that.
Fucking insane. We did it.
Enkelt boys, enkelt.
Persone. Sono un maestro.
Mycket enkelt.
GG.
Lovely.
How is that possible?